How's it going, coaches?
Hello.
Doubleheader today against Pios. A little bit more difficult of a day, a little bit more difficult of an interview. We go off on the road tomorrow to Nebraska, but we play Fremont. Talk about the doubleheader for a little bit, and then we'll talk about Fremont. Initial thoughts on both games today. If you wanted to specifically talk about one game, just let me know which one you're talking about. But just overall thoughts on today.
Overall thoughts, you know what, we just didn't bring our bats. I don't know if we wasted them all last night or what, but I know that second game, the pitcher, he was a good pitcher. That second guy, you know what, he had 4 different pitches, kept our guys off balance all the time. We didn't have much base runners in either game, so it made it tough to really run an offense or do any, strategize at all in the first two, in both games, really.
Yeah.
So we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. These guys get some rest. It was a long day out there today, and after a good night last night. So unfortunately, we came out a little flat, and it just kind of stuck with us all day.
Sure. Definitely struggled on the offensive side, and usually that's what I like talking to you about, Coach Jamie. Coach May, maybe you talk to me a little bit about both games, about the pitching, how you felt it went with our starters and our relievers today.
I think the pitchers filled up the strike zone for the most part. Don't know how many free bases we gave up, but I know it was probably significantly less than what we normally do. I thought they gave us a chance to win. It was just one of those days. Probably wish we would have saved some hits from last night and brought them out today. But I think starters, relievers, they came in and did their jobs, and I think they threw great today.
Yeah, I mean, one of the bright sides today that I saw was Bryce Lopez's debut here at home. He did fairly well after a pretty tough first inning where we gave up 2 errors, ended up giving up 3 unearned runs, but then settled it and did fairly well. Jacob came in both games, did 2 really fairly good innings, and even Cardoso starting the second game, being a position player, doing fairly well for himself. Definitely one of the bright spots of today.
Yes.
I would like to talk a little bit about the momentum. We talk about it a bunch. At what point in today, in either game, you could talk about either one where it just felt like we didn't have the same type of energy, the same type of momentum as last night? Can you talk to me a little bit about that and why it was so different?
You know what? I think that first inning again was real similar last night. We gave a couple runs away and we came right back and got them back. And in the first game today, we didn't come back and get them right away. I figured we hit better than we did. I think we averaged at least 6 or 7 runs a game. So on a pitching performance like those guys had today, we should have been fine. We should have been battling right through it. Too many errors, too many miscues, and I don't think we ever gained momentum at all, to be honest with you. I don't know if we had it. We were kind of flat throughout. We made some good defensive plays, and then we were just kind of sleeping through that first game, I think. And then the second game caught up with us, and before you know it, that guy's dealing, and we can't catch up. So
it definitely seemed like we weren't as aggressive at the plate tonight. Definitely didn't go super far into counts and weren't looking for the best pitches. Can you maybe talk to me if you were seeing the same thing or how you felt like we were taking our approaches at the home plate?
Yeah, we were swinging at too many first pitches in that first game. The second game, we should have probably swung at some more first pitches because that was his weaker pitch of the 4 that he was throwing in that second game, and we sat on a couple. A couple guys hit the ball well. It was just one of those games where we hit it at them and they hit it around us.
Sure.
So, we'll be back. We'll get them back tomorrow. We got a long road trip, and we owe Fremont a couple at their place. We have yet to win there, so hopefully we get a couple wins down there.
Awesome. I did want a little bit of clarification. There was kind of a controversial call over on the third base side when we were on defense. Caden went to go and get a guy and he got stuck into a pickle. Maybe give me and maybe the press box some clarification on what happened and then what the argument was like going after he made that call.
Play got a guy, ball hit right back to the pitcher. Got the guy off third base too far. So our pitcher runs him back like he's supposed to. I would actually expect him to just give that ball up right away once he sees him commit back. Held on to it too long. in the midst of all that happening, Caden, our pitcher, releases the ball. The guy puts his arms out and touches him. In the rule book, technically it's considered a interference call. What I was arguing, though, was the runner was outside of the baseline, so that would neglect that. And I asked for an appeal, and I didn't get it, and so that's what the conversation was about.
Sure, it definitely seemed like a very odd moment. We were talking a little bit about it in the press box, but it seemed like, you should have been given at least an appeal, which honestly that felt to me where it was kind of almost the momentum breaker, or what we could have gotten back into the game with.
Yes.
If you guys agree to that.
Definitely.
T-Cats, what do you have?
Offense today and energy. It just seemed like the energy was much lower after a big day yesterday. 18 hits yesterday and 5 combined today. 20 runs yesterday, and you subtracted the 2 from that today. So what happened with the bats coming into today after such a high-powered offensive day yesterday?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what happened. We were swinging the bats. We were just not connecting with the ball. We had a lot of strikeouts. Like I said, that second pitcher was the real deal. He was good up there. First pitcher, we probably could have gone on a little better. I just don't know. Last night it seemed like we couldn't miss. Tonight it seems like we couldn't make contact at all. So I don't know what the difference was today, but maybe, some guys might be getting a little tired. They've been in more than they have been all summer. But, this is their opportunity, and we got to seize that day. So we'll turn it around and come back tomorrow.
You had 5 pitchers used combined between the 2 games. Was there a lower pitcher count just because of the shorter number of innings you had to pitch, or was that part of the strategy during today's game?
Probably a little bit of both. Lopez, he was dealing first. Just didn't really have a lot of help behind him, either side, offense and defense. But I think Caden threw great. Pitch count got up, so we brought in Newman, said he felt good. Definitely want to keep running him out there because he's getting better each and every outing. So that was probably a little bit of both.
7 errors combined. It seemed like most of them were in that middle infield with Weston and Yancey. Was there something that it's because they're newer to that position, Yancey making his first couple starts at shortstop, that he wasn't able to field a couple of those balls?
I would definitely have to contribute some of that to it. I think a lot of it is just not being ready when the ball's hit. As a defensive player in baseball, you got to want the ball, and if you don't, the ball usually finds you. So that's where I'd stand on that.
Colin was the catcher both times in today. You have another catcher in Brock Reinhardt. He came in as a DH in Game 2. So what was the call in not having him behind the plate for Game 2?
So we've been discussing this for about a week now, and Colin actually came to us the other day and said that he wanted to catch both of them since he'd be down there the first. He just want to keep rolling through it. He knows we're short on numbers. We actually had a couple other guys we could have put there, but Colin, being the leader that he is, the guy that he is, says a lot about him. He just said, I want to help my team and catch both games.
Both games you also put in Jacob Newman to pitch an inning in each game. Was that just because he said he felt ready, and was that to save arms for the Fremont series?
I'd say definitely because he's ready, and just because he needs the time. He really hasn't thrown a lot all summer, and lately he's been coming on throwing, but he's getting better each and every outing, and I think this last stretch is really going to be big for him and actually propelling him for fall ball this year. So.
First game, Tyler Lubin got a pinch hit appearance in his first at-bat of the season. Was that another instance in which a pitcher was just begging for an at-bat?
Yeah. You just know Tyler Lubin. He's a character. He's a great kid to coach, and he's been on us kind of like Shelton. But I feel like he's deserved it, and it was one of those moments you couldn't turn down. So.
Is there anything in the future that another pitcher that hasn't had an at-bat that we could see get one?
There's a very good possibility of either another pitcher or another hitter hitting, so keep your eyes open for that.
All right, that's all I got.
I have one final question before we talk about the ending thoughts. After 2 losses on a doubleheader and then we go on the road, who are you looking for in the team to really kind of bring that morale back up so that we can take some games away from Fremont?
Go ahead. I was just going to say that I think this team resets pretty well. I think they're going to be completely reset as soon as we get on the bus tomorrow. Caden, Cardoso, Colin, Lubin, those guys are they're battlers and they want to go to work. And then, Andrew Kim in the center field, they're always ready to go. So, tomorrow's a new day. They're going to wake up, be ready to go tomorrow and get on the bus.
Sweet. Any final thoughts about tonight?
No. No more thoughts
Yeah,
about
just
tonight.
trying to-
Forget about it.
Gonna try to flush that game, and
Yeah.
just thank you to everyone that came out. We're gonna finish strong this year.
Yeah, big attendance tonight. Papa Murphy sponsored night and sponsored the interview, so thank you to them.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, coaches. We'll see you guys tomorrow, all right?
Thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
right.